If you are looking to buy or sell a home, you're going to hear the word inspection a lot. In this video, we'll take a look at what all the different inspections are and why they are or are not important to you, and ultimately how much you can expect to spend on them as well. Let's check it out. Welcome back. And I want to truly thank all of you who've taken a few moments to check out some of these videos I'm making, and I really hope that you're finding them helpful and valuable. Today, we're going to discuss the different types of inspections that go into buying or selling a home, when and why they take place, and how much they could cost you. Hopefully this video will help to clear some of those things up. When you're first looking to buy or sell a home, you might hear your realtor suggest or prepare you for a home inspection. You may also hear them ask you to get a city inspection or a C of O inspection. And the lender may even tell you that they need an FHA or VA inspection as well. Doesn't this all seem a little bit redundant? So let's break it down. So let's start with the municipal inspection, or also known as the city or township inspection. The purpose of this one is for the city or township to issue a certificate of occupancy for the home, which deems it to be safe to occupy per their standards. In many cities, this may be a requirement for the sale or purchase of a home. Some may require it only if it's a non-owner occupied home, like a rental property, or if it's been a certain amount of time since its last sale, or if it was flagged by the city for any other violations. In some cities or townships, this is not even a requirement at all. So first and foremost, you'll want to check with the municipality, call the building department, and check to see whether or not they do require it for the sale. The cost for these inspections will also vary based on the city. I've personally seen them to be anywhere from $50 to $500, and sometimes additional expenses are needed if they need to come back out for multiple inspections, such as if they requested for work to be done and needed to check to make sure it was finished. Ultimately, the city wants to ensure that the home is well kept, safe, and free of hazards before they will let a resident of their city live in the home. I've found that several cities have never done this before in the past, have only recently just started to. So even if it wasn't a requirement at the time you may have bought a house a few years ago, it's a great idea just to check right away before you get ready to list your home, as those policies may have changed. So why does my lender require me to have another inspection even if it passed the city inspection? Well, if you are looking to get financing to purchase the home, you should know what type of loan product you have. If it's an FHA loan, which is backed by the government's Federal Housing Administration, often used when helping first-time buyers, or if you are a US veteran and you want to take advantage of your VA benefits for housing, having this inspection will be a requirement of the loan. The purpose of this inspection is very similar to that of a city inspection, in that it's ultimately for the purpose of making sure that the home is safe to immediately occupy. So these inspections happen simultaneously as the home's appraisal, and the cost of such is rolled into the cost of the appraisal as well. You could expect anywhere from $500 to $1,000 depending on a variety of factors. Make sure you talk to your mortgage loan originator to get a better idea for what this cost might be. In these cases, the appraiser that goes to the house to help determine the value of the home is also certified to inspect the home. Though it may have some things in common with the municipal inspection, it's held to a specific standard set by FHA or VA, which may or may not always align with the municipality, if there even is one. When they are doing these inspections, they are ultimately looking for items they feel may cause a concern to your immediate health and safety of the home. This may include, but is not limited to, items such as trip hazards in the flooring, driveways, or walkways, GFC outlets installed near water sources such as your kitchen or your bathroom sink, handrails that must be installed going up or down stairs, broken glass or windows, obvious presence of mold, areas with peeling paint that could potentially contain lead, and also some more obvious and significant structural concerns such as deteriorating foundation or roof can also be hit on occasion. The thing about these inspections that is important to know is that once the inspection has flagged items that need to be repaired, the lender will not allow the buyer to complete the purchase of the home until these items have been verifiably repaired. On occasion, there may be an opportunity to fund an escrow account to cover the cost of some of these repairs if they can't be done at the time for specific reasons. One example of this may be for minor trip hazards on a driveway where the concrete needs to be replaced. Here in Michigan, when it gets to a certain temperature below freezing, concrete cannot be placed. VA inspections also require a pest inspection to be completed to identify if there's any evidence of wood-destroying organisms on the property. These inspections are here to protect the buyer from potential physical and health hazards of the home, but are ultimately rather superficial inspections, which is why your real estate agent may advise you to get your own private home inspection as well. Now, let's talk about what I feel is truly one of the most important parts of buying a home, and that is getting a private home inspection. Where FHA and municipal inspections largely focus on health and safety and the occasional updated building code, a private inspection is where we really get into the nitty-gritty of the home and try to find out absolutely as much about the home as we absolutely can. During this inspection, the buyer will hire an inspector who is unrelated to the transaction in any way in order to perform their due diligence on the property so that they may be aware of all conditions of the home, including everything superficial, structural, mechanical, electrical, and the works. So this will cover all of the things we may not have been able to see or notice while simply browsing through the home during a showing. And these are often items that are missed by FHA, VA, and municipalities as well. These inspectors should be licensed and insured in the state in which they perform their work. So these inspectors will usually do a complete exterior examination of the home, looking for any defects and making notes of everything that they find. Then they will do an interior examination as well, including getting into the attic and crawl spaces, which we may have never been into during our walkthrough. They will also test all of the systems of the home, which include things like your plumbing, running all of your water and checking for any leaks anywhere and making sure things were properly put together. They'll also check your HVAC, running your furnace, checking the date of the furnace, or air conditioner if that's also available. They'll also look at all the rest of the mechanicals and electricals in your house as well. Some additional services they may provide also include things like pest inspections, which is where they are looking for signs of wood-destroying insects or other pests that may be present on the home. A sewer scope, where they will run a camera through the main drains all the way out to the city sewer line to ensure that it's in good working condition. Now this is one that I always recommend because I find this is one area you'll never know you have a problem with until it's too late. They may also do thermal inspections to make sure there are no hot spots in electrical circuit breakers that could be hazardous to the home later on. Mold and moisture tests, if anything is found like that, they can evaluate further. Radon tests to ensure that there is no radioactive gas in the home that, when it's present, could cause health issues over long periods of exposure. They may also do lead paint tests where they will detect any peeling paint that's found in the house to see if it contains lead, which can also be a major health hazard when it's ingested, which is why it's one of those items that FHA and VA also look for. If the home has a well or septic system, a separate inspection may also be needed for this to ensure its proper functionality and health and safety, of course. It's always a good idea to discuss with the inspector prior to scheduling the inspection what services they provide and what do they recommend for a specific home or area that you're buying in. And it's entirely the choice of the buyer whether or not to even perform any of these inspections. These services could cost anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or more depending on the services provided and the size of the home. After the inspection, the inspector will put a full report of the home together and give a copy to the client to review. This information is owned by the client and often shared with their real estate agent to discuss how to handle any items they found. It is important to note that every single private home inspection will find defects in a house of one severity or another. This includes even newly constructed homes that were just built yesterday and never lived in. That's their job. How a client handles receiving this information is entirely their own responsibility. So I hope I've cleared up some of the misconceptions around different inspections in the home buying process. There are different kinds of inspections for different purposes. If there are any questions that popped in your head through this video, please make sure to leave a comment below or give me a call at 313-288-0553. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below for more future videos and content, and I'll see you in the next one.